Hi everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So, I haven't done a pour in about 4 days and I'm actually really hanging out to do a painting. So I was a little bit busy and just didn't have time to get to it. But this last one has dried. So as we can see, the metallics are definitely more shinier. I quite like this. It's different. It's actually come out and dried a little bit different to how I was expecting. But once I get a photo of this in the sunlight or in good lighting, it will be super awesome. So this was the last ghost swipe I did. And tonight, I am going to do a waterfall pour. I have not done a waterfall pour in ages. So I'm really looking forward to this. I'm not sure how it's actually going to work out because I'm using pearl paint with a normal paint base. And I don't know, but I'm not going to do it as a dirty pour. I'm going to do it as a straight pour. So I think the metallics will actually sit on top and give quite different effects to how I normally get them. But this is just a bit of fun. See how things go. So the paints I am using are decoart Americana decor metallics in silver, in pewter, and deep sapphire. So that's the 3 metallic colours. Then I have my base here, which is 80 grams 80 grams cerulean blue and 10 grams phthalo blue to kind of give this lighter blue than the metallic, but still not like a pale blue. So the base is 90 grams paint, 180 grams floetrol and 50 grams water. The 3 metallics are 12 grams paint and 24 grams water. Floetrol. I added a little bit more floetrol into the silver because the silver is always thicker. For some reason that silver is actually quite a thick paint. So I'm just going to put them out of the way. Now I'm not 100% sure how this will work out, but we will see. So what I'm going to do is I'll put that there. It's on a bit of an angle, but it should be fine. I'm going to pour a little bit of this in the bottom, not much, just a bit. Then I am going to pour in maybe about 1/3 of the silver. Might not even be 1/3. Just smash a bit of colour in there. The pewter. And the deep sapphire. So this deep sapphire is really rich in colour. There we go. So just smash a bit down into it. Then we get a bit more of the base coat and pour that in. Let all that all mix together. Then we're going to smash in some more silver. Some more pewter. More sapphire. I'm going to put a bit more base in there. And then we're just going to get the last of it out. But we still try and smash most of it down into it. So I hold it up high. Once it starts dripping, I just bring it down and just scrape the rest out into the cup. So I've just done this so the paint all mixes through each other. Kind of gives you different effects. Okay, smash this one down. Now that it's dripping. And so this is what I mean by experiment, guys. Have fun. I don't know how this is going to work, and I actually don't mind. I have been so busy and a little bit stressed with my busy life, so I've been really anxious to just do a painting and relax, because this is my relax time. And you know what? If it doesn't turn out, it doesn't really matter. It's just a bit of fun. Now I'm just going to pour a little bit more base coat in there. Now that cup is relatively full. It's got to be quite a lot of paint there. Take that off, but as you can see, it's all mixed in. There's all different colours. Now we've got the rest of the base. So I am just going to pour a bit on. I'm not going to pour too much down that end, because it will run off if I pour too much there. I probably could have put a little bit less base coat in the original cup and had a little bit more on the canvas, but it's always hard. I always do it with a pop stick and realise I probably should use my good old palette knife to actually do this bit. Because it has that raised handle, you can actually get it to touch the canvas. So all as I'm doing is just making the paint on there. Bring it back up. Just gives the waterfall part something to glide on. I might just go a little bit to the edge. I don't really think I need to, but because there's enough paint here that I probably will be tilting over all four corners quite easily, so I don't need to really coat every part of the canvas. Okay, that bit's done. My cup is getting reactions in it, which is precisely what I want. Well, it's what I think I want. It's what I planned for. Whether it actually looks awesome at the end is going to be the challenge. So as we can see here, all the metallics are working their way through this cup. They're doing something. Not really too sure what you'd call it. So this isn't on a huge angle, but it is on an angle. So the paint will flow down that way. So I'm going to pour. And I'm just gonna go side to side. I wasn't sure if I was going to do rings or a jiggle. This is kind of a jiggle. All right. Most of the paint came out. Now I'm just letting that move along while I get some gloves on. Some of it's going over the edge. That's not too bad. Working its way down. Actually, while it's working its way down, I'm going to torch it and get rid of some of these bubbles. stop that because I want to get this before it goes completely over the edge. So all I'm going to do now is just remove my cups that I had underneath it. That's why I keep my old cups after I use them. If I don't wash them out in time and the paint stays in them, I just keep them aside and use them as props. So I may use my corner catcher because I'm going to lose a lot of the metallics in there, and I don't want to lose those metallics. So let's get this corner catcher on, and I'm going to do this top corner first. So I'm just bringing it down. It's going to go over the edge as well as hit the corner. All right, let's bring it back. Take that off. That light is slightly in the way. I'm used to doing this on a 12 by 16, when this time I've got a 12 by 24, so need a little bit more room. So over in this corner, and then come back. Okay, so I've coated the canvas now. What I am going to do is just run my finger underneath and just push a little bit onto that edge where I had the corner catcher, because it stopped a lot of the paint from getting on that corner. I'm going to have to lean over. I worry about leaning over in my long sleeve shirts because I'm going to get paint on them. Yep, that looks like it's covered. Awesome. I might do this bottom corner now. So I'm going to come up, bring this paint back, stretch it out, see if some effects come up. Because I didn't do a dirty pour, I may not get a lot of effects, or I might get effects but in a different way. So I'm bringing it to this corner over here, but at the same time I do need it to go over the edge near me, it's hard, I can't point while I'm tilting. Yeah, it's going over that edge now. You need it to go over all parts. All right, in that corner, coming back. Moving my corner catcher to the last corner. All right, that's where the paint is. No, where the weight of the paint is, I should have said, not the paint. The paint's all over it. And now bringing it down into this last corner. All the way in the corner. Excellent. And now I'm bringing it back. And try and bring most of the paint. Ooh. Okay, just double check that it has covered all your edges. Sometimes there's just one or two little spots that it misses. No, it's all over it now. Excellent. Now is the part where we just decide what part of this canvas we like and what part we want to stretch out, and if there's anything we want to tip off. I'm liking this end up here more than this end down here. So I'm going to stretch it out this way. And I'm going to tip a little bit more off this side. There we go. Bring that back a bit. And then I'm going to bring it up and around and tip a bit more off this side. Over it goes. bring it back. And I'm going to stretch it all the way back to this side over here. So I can't say left and right because it's the opposite in the videos, and I'm dyslexic, so I get my rights and lefts confused as it is, let alone trying to remember back to front. Okay. So I'm still just moving it around, seeing if I can cause any more effects to come up with the movement of the paint. I think I'm going to tip a bit more off. So I'm going to go down this way, get a bit more going off that end. Bring it back a little bit. And go over this way. Alright, I have to grab a little glob that I can see. I call them globs, where paint is not moving correctly. It's a huge glob. So that's come out of one of the colours, probably the cerulean blue, I think. That's my oldest paint. Alright, stretching this back. So all I'm doing now is just manoeuvring the paint around the canvas, seeing if I can bring up any effects, while at the same time just altering the image compared to what's there. So the more that paint that is tipped off, the more likely your shapes are going to start going different. So you've got to watch them a little bit. Coming back. So I'm ultimately now, I'm just moving the paint around the canvas, back and forth, seeing if anything's going to happen. If you feel like tipping a bit more off here and there, that's fine. Just to alter your picture. So I don't think I'm going to get too much more effects come up by movement of the paint. So what I've done there is I've tilted a lot of the paint down to here. It is going to try and move back to the center just because it's going to want to by itself anyway. So can you see some pearls coming up? Just wipe my fingers so I don't drip. Up over this back end, that's where it's been stretched more, so I'm getting some darker pearls come up. And I've tried to kind of make my peaks go over to this corner, but I don't want to tip anything else off there because that's where I'm getting some pearls. Looks like sapphire colour coming through. So for now, I'm quite happy to leave this as it is because I don't mind the look of it. I got to get these gloves off. I like these peaks over here, and if there was a bit more that went through into this area, that would have been cool, but it wasn't, and I don't think I'm going to really achieve much by stretching it too much that way, because the paint's going to want to come back anyway. So I think that I would end up just making this kind of a weird shape. So I've tilted enough. I'm getting effects coming up over here, which is good, and a couple on this edge over here as well. I am going to give it a little torch. This part, it's more choice. I've already torched and got rid of most of the air bubbles. But I'm just going to see if this brings up any more effects. That's enough. I don't really want to over torch. I just wanted to see if it helped anything. So definitely more pearls are showing up here. So this might be one where I'm actually going to have to pause it and leave it for a good 15 minutes just to see if anything chooses to come up. I'm going to get them out of the way. That one's fallen in. There we go. I have got a fair bit of paint on the on my, but I've poured off. So, but I just want to scrape. I don't want to leave these edges dripping or pulling my artwork too much. So I'm giving it a good scrape just to make sure that it doesn't pull too much more paint away from the canvas. Go around to the back. Move this light while I scrape this side. There we go. Alright. How are you going, light? You're not going to fall over in my painting, are you? Doesn't look like it. That would be a nightmare if it did. So I don't know if you guys can see, but these pearls are still developing and getting more of them. There's a couple more coming up on this side. I probably won't get any over here because I haven't stretched this as much. I haven't tipped it off, brought it back, tipped it off, brought it back. And there's a couple coming up on this side because I have tipped it off and brought it back. So that's how you do get different effects as well, is when you do things like that. But I think for now, I am just going to pause it, leave it for 10 minutes and see if anything else shows up. Otherwise, I like this. It's probably one that I would hang as a, like that as the top or the bottom. Probably not sideways, but who knows what will happen. These things can change as time goes on, and that's the fun part about it. It is quite blue. You've got the main blue, you've got silvers, and so the pewter is kind of like a blue silver. Then you've got the normal silver, and then you've got the deep sapphire, which is bringing in these darker colours and some of these pearls. So it will look so much more different once it has dried. But for now, we're going to pause and we're going to see what happens. Won't be too long. Okay, we're back. So it's been 10 minutes, maybe 12, and definitely got more pearls come up all across here. So that was the main area that kept getting stretched. There's a few more on this side and down here. And again, not much pearls on that side where I didn't stretch it a lot. But that I wasn't really, I wasn't expecting to get pearls, and I wasn't really thinking it was going to happen. So, I'm trying to finish off this video. I was going to leave it a little bit longer, but we've got a storm coming in. Well, it's been stormy for ages now, and I don't want the power to go off, and not be able to see with all the lights gone. So yeah, it's been quite wet here lately. It's been raining 24 out of the last 26 days, and things are getting flooded, and yeah, it's been a little bit different. Probably getting close to our wettest July on record since we've been doing records. So yeah, that's why everything's taking so long to dry. So it's a bit hard for me to do more artworks when I haven't got a spot to put the wet one, because they're all just taking forever to dry. But that's just a little winter challenge. We all have our little dilemmas where we live, so that's it. So I am going to bring you down for a close-up. The lighting is probably going to make it a little bit difficult to see it properly, but we'll see how we go. Okay, there we go. So definitely, as you can see, more pearls came up over here, and I think they will continue to grow and maybe form a little bit more over this whole corner. There is some down and along the bottom here, and in this section here, these are developing effects. So the metallic's kind of coming up and pushing its way and making different patterns. I'm going to try this without one of these lights. Focus. There we go. Might try the other light off too. Okay, that's a little bit easier to see. Probably, yeah, that colouring's probably quite close. So as you can see, this is where more of the straight pour happened. This wasn't an intentional dirty pour, but I think the paint just kept rolling over itself and it ended up getting buried. So then when you do the tilting and it tilts over, it ends up coming up as a pearl. So I'm really pleased with this. I'm quite happy with the way it looks. It's different to how when I do a pearl pour, and it's different to when I do a straight pour. So it's kind of in between. I like the flow of it, how it's kind of coming down through over to this side. And again, this is what I do for fun. I just wanted to have a relax after quite a stressful week, and really wanted to do a painting for days now and just never had the time. And tonight I was like, I don't care if I have time or not, I'm going to fit one in. So that's the fun part about it. So as you can see, there's different effects that are coming up all around it. The lighting doesn't always help. I did buy a second light. I just have to clear up some of the art stuff so I can actually set that up, because the lights actually take up, it's the stand that they're on, take up quite a bit of room. So this is my waterfall pearl with, there we go, waterfall pearl with metallics. I hope you enjoyed this, so let me know what you think. So like, comment, share the video if you like it, and subscribe if you have not already. Just hit the bell and click all, and it will notify you when more videos come up, and then you get to see what else I end up painting in the future. So have fun everyone, have a good night, and I will see you soon for another pour. Okay, bye.